It's about that time again, boys, to talk about the latest episode of Beyblade Burst Sparking. This time, we're talking about episode 35, where we see the rematch between Lean and Shu. And I'm honestly kind of scared for Shu here, but let's just get right into it. Before we get into it, guys, if we could hit 800 likes on this video, of course, that would be crazy. Hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation. And also, once again, go and follow me on Twitch. Dead. We're getting pretty close to 1,000 followers over there, and I've been streaming a lot of Call of Duty, and it's overall been a pretty fun time. But now, guys, let's talk about the episode. So just as a small recap, the last episode we saw was Hyuga and Hikaru kind of using their limit break bays, kind of getting trying to get a handle on them, and it was kind of just like a feel-good episode, but we did see glimpses of Lucifer The End and Lean developing that bay to eventually challenge Shu, which does happen this episode. So to start it off, we have the Bladers at the kind of restaurant house that Hikaru and Hyuga live at with their parents, and we see some pretty nice looking food. Honestly, this scene definitely made me hungry. In fact, I might get a snack after this. Now, after they're done eating, Lean actually shows up and shows off his new bay, Lucifer The End, and challenges Shu to a battle. They don't battle straight away though. In fact, they kind of save the battle for the next day, and Shu is just kind of practicing by himself as he typically does. Later that night, we do see Hikaru and Hyuga kind of polishing their bays, and then they get into a little bit of a quarrel, which almost ends with Hyperion taking a orange juice dunk. Doesn't really seem like that much important stuff went on in their conversation though. Let's move on. So whenever they all get to the stadium where we're going to see the battle between Lean and Shu, Lean actually proposes a bit of a rule change for this battle, and that there is no winner until there is a burst finish. Now what this means is that Lean does not want to win with over finishes, survivor finishes. He wants to fully burst Spriggan, kind of just completely destroy Shu. That's his goal. Hopefully not literally destroy Shu and Spriggan. Let's hope no bays break in this episode. And then, guys, the battle begins. Both Bladers launch their bays. Lucifer immediately takes the center because it is a defense type, and Spriggan goes in for the attack. And this is where we see some of the first gimmicks of Lucifer The End pop up, in that it has kind of like the rebound gimmick in its layer a little bit, and Spriggan's attacks are just bouncing off, not really doing anything. But of course, Shu has some special moves up his sleeve, and he activates the world slash special ability and goes in for the attack, and he actually hits that kind of burst stopper part of Spriggan. Now this would normally deal insane damage to any other bay, but it's the new Lucifer. And this is where we see Lucifer's brand new limit break ability, Limit Break The End, and the layer actually kind of separates down and kind of creates a lot of downforce and shoves Spriggan into the stadium and bounces it out. Lucifer wins that round, but it doesn't matter because the battles are decided by burst finish. Now we're heading into the second round, and Shu is changing up the strategy. He wants to immediately hit Lucifer to make that kind of limit break ability activate early. And this is exactly what Shu does. Spriggan immediately attacks Lucifer and knocks it to the wall and kind of triggers that limit break ability early. But this is where we have another trick of Lucifer pop in. Spriggan tries to go in for the attack after the ability is done, and he is immediately greeted with Lucifer The End's free spinning disc and free spinning layer elements, and really his attacks are just kind of sliding away. Lean and Lucifer do actually win this round, but the battle just keeps going and going and going, and Lucifer is winning everything here, but the full battle will not end until there is a burst finish. We go through multiple rounds. We see round 6, Spriggan loses. We see round 10 and Spriggan loses. And then this is where Lean wants to finally finish this battle. We do see some pretty awesome animation here with Lean and Lucifer. Lean especially because his hair is just kind of glowing a little bit more blue now, and it's just pretty cool. But Lucifer is kind of shoving Spriggan up into the corner edges of the stadium. Now this happened to Hyperion and Helios before, and those bays ended up breaking. And this is where I think Spriggan is going to break. But Spriggan is able to get out of this hold, and Shu activates the counter break special move to go in for a bit of a surprise attack. And this is where we see yet another trick hidden up Lean's sleeve. Lucifer's driver, which is called Drift, actually seemingly has its own kind of counter break move, and that it's able just to completely change direction and meet Spriggan for a pretty intense attack right in the middle of the stadium. And during the collision, Lean activates his special move, his limit break ability that we did see earlier, which was Limit Break the End. The top part of the ring kind of collapses down, shoves Spriggan into the stadium and knocks it into the air, and this time Spriggan does burst. Luckily, Spriggan does not break. There is no broken bay here, which is pretty great to see. I would have been kind of sad, although not surprised, but still kind of sad if World Spriggan would have broken, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys out there would have been pretty upset as well, so good thing it didn't happen here. Then after the battle, Lean is of course celebrating because really a lot of his drive to be better and to improve, to become the strongest blader, I guess, was to beat Shu, and that's what he's done. But I think it kind of left him without a purpose, because while he is celebrating, he kind of just stops and then looks down and has kind of an expressionless face. And then we do see him later on in his kind of factory setting, kind of screaming and yelling and destroying his practice stadium in there. And he's kind of so triggered, so upset, that even his pet hedgehog is scared of him right now. I think Lean finally beating his old mentor Shu kind of cracked him a little bit in that he doesn't really have a purpose anymore. Like, what does he do going forward? Who is he trying to beat now? Because he's kind of reached the top, and what else is there? So he's kind of having what I assume to be a bit of an identity crisis. And that pretty much wraps up the episode there. To talk about the preview really quickly, this next preview episode has some cool elements, but it's mostly going to be a bit more filler. Something that is kind of cool though about this next episode is that we are going to see the commissioner of the WBBA, which is Wakia. We've already seen him in the manga, but for all of you guys out there that didn't know, he is the WBBA's commissioner now. I don't expect to see a brand new Wyvern. In fact, I'm pretty sure we won't see one, but at least we're seeing an old character come back. And then the rest of the episode is going to be kind of like this VR training. The two bladers put on these like Oculus Rift VR goggles, and I guess they kind of battle a bunch of people, including Lean and Vault, but not the real ones, just virtual ones. So overall for this next episode, I kind of expect it to be more filler, although seeing a return of an old character in Wakia is kind of cool, but we probably won't see anything really awesome happen in the anime for a few episodes. I feel like we're going to have a bit of a filler arc, kind of. But as a bit of a review, I thought this episode in general was pretty decent. I thought the battles were a little bit lackluster. I kind of wanted to see a little bit more action going on, because they kind of just skipped through a lot of the battles. Like we skipped from battle 2 to 6 to 10. So we didn't really see too much. And I hoped we would have seen a little bit more action, maybe some cooler animation in there, just something. But that is going to wrap up this video, guys. If you liked it, hit that like button down below. Once again, the goal is 800 likes. Hit subscribe to join the Nook Nation. And let me know what you guys thought of the episode in the comments down below. Oh, and also, go and follow me on Twitch. I had to throw that in there. But thank you guys for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Have fun, and bay away.